We got the thumbs up, so we're ready. We'll call the meeting to order. And so welcome board members, staff, appellates, and citizens to the August 12th. These months just fly by. I can't believe it's August. Introduction of the staff. To my right, Donna Witt, our administrative planner. Donna, hello. Next to Donna is Shad Annis, our associate planner. To my left, we have Krista Hill, our senior planner. Next to Krista is Derek Spear, our city planner. And in the front row, we have David Bent, our legal counsel. Hi, David. Donna, would you please call the roll? I think we have one member online.
For area gets to the rain, like it's at Bend, it feels like 90, but in Benton Harbor for the rain is 40.
Can we get some ice?
So humid, but it'll be
Here.
I can't,
We'll take that as a here.
yes, I can't hear you very well, Chris, and I have it up high.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Okay, yes, thank you.
Okay. Here. All right, so we have enough here for a quorum. 3 votes are needed to get something passed or moved to the council with a favorable or unfavorable rating, so we should be in good shape. We have a lot on the agenda tonight, so I'm going to try to rip through these pretty quick. Rules are on the board and to my right and to the left. Before I read these, we do all of our speaking only at the podium. That's so Donna can take all of this into record. And when you do come up to speak, if you could leave your name and address each time so she can have that and take that down into the record, that would be great. Patience for those attending online. I don't believe we have people online. I think everybody's here to present their appellates, so I think we should be in good shape. So first we'll hear a presentation by the appellate. For each item, we will ask those participating in the room to speak first, followed by those participating online, then those who wish to speak in favor of the appeal, then those who wish to speak against the appeal. If you don't know whether you're speaking for or against and you have general questions, I suggest you come up during the speak against the appeal. We'll accumulate all of the questions. We'll have a right of rebuttal by the appellate. We'll close the public discussion. We'll have a board discussion and then a board vote. The previous minutes, July, were distributed to the board members. Were there any corrections or additions to those minutes? No. All those in favor of approving those minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Sounds like all of us. So those minutes are approved. Are there any conflict of interest by any of the board members on any of the agenda items for tonight?
No.
Okay.
No.
Rolling right along. Let's get right into the first one here. Is Appeal 25-18, an appeal submitted by Carla Calmorgan requesting a developmental variance for 611 East Marion Street, Mishawaka, Indiana, to allow for a reduced front yard setback for a handicap ramp. Is there somebody here to present this? Hi, come on up. Take your time. And if you need a hand, let me know. You good? Okay. Yep. Take your time.
Hello?
We hear you.
Hi, I'm calling in regard to the address 634 East 18th Street. I live next door at 644 East 18th Street.
Okay.
I don't have...
Okay, hold on 1 minute.
I'm sorry.
So this you need to wait, and we need to hear the appeal first, 2518.
Okay.
So if you can please hold, that would be great. Hi,
Okay,
name
thank
and
you.
address.
My name is Carla Calmorgan, and I own 611 East Marion Street. And I'm asking for a handicap ramp because I have a bad back and a bad hip, along with my other health issues. And I've fallen down my stairs and up my stairs trying to get into my house. And I now have been diagnosed with osteoporosis, and the doctor says if I fall, I could break a hip.
Oh, no.
So I really need a ramp.
Yep, sounds like you do. I'm very sorry for your injuries that you have there. Is there anybody that has any questions on this? Did you start doing the ramp already?
No.
No? Okay, so you did this the right way. That's good.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much for your presentation. I appreciate it. Is there anybody else in the room or online wishing to speak in favor of Appeal 25-18? Is there anybody in the room or online wishing to speak against Appeal 25-18? Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing, and I'll take a motion on 25-18.
Make a motion to approve 25-18.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Donna, would you please call for the vote?
Adam Gersbauer,
Yes.
Joel Dindu,
Yes.
Denise Graves,
Yes.
Chris Torty.
Yes. And that passes, and I wish you all the best with the ramp and what you need to do. So you're all set.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do I need to stay till the end, or I can?
You absolutely do not. It's a long agenda, and I probably wouldn't stay to the end.
Okay, thank you.
You got it. Take your time. Ma'am, do you need a hand getting out? We'd be happy to help you. Okay. Yep, have a good evening. Okay, moving along, we have Appeal 25-19, an appeal submitted by KJP Properties LLC requesting a developmental variance for 1733 Lincoln Way East, Mishawaka, Indiana, to allow for a reduced front yard setback for a porch. Is there somebody here to present this? Hi.
How you doing?
Good.
Sam Swartz with Swartz Construction.
Hi, tell us about what you want to do.
They'd like to have just a front entry with a covered roof that'd come out covering the concrete, which is approximately 6 feet. It may not even quite that much, to be honest, but it's not over 6 foot. Their reasoning behind that was they were saying that in the winter months when you get the snow and the ice, it'd be nice to have it covered and try to avoid the ice buildup to get in front of their entry door there.
And so rather than a front porch, it's really just entryway work with.
Yeah, but it'll have a roof over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Any questions for Mr. Swartz? Nope. Thank you for the presentation. Is there anybody else in the room or online wishing to speak in favor of Appeal 25-19? Is there anybody in the room or online wishing to speak against Appeal 25-19? And I know we have a remonstrance letter on this. Why don't we read that?
Yes. I have a letter. It says, "This is a letter of appeal regarding KJ Properties adding a front porch to property at 100 Lincoln Way West, Mishawaka. This business does not belong in a residential neighborhood. It was okay as a garage. Now there are wreckers and car carriers coming and going at all hours with children everywhere. This business has outgrown the neighborhood and should not be allowed to add or make any changes. P.S. We have lived in this neighborhood since 1986 and didn't mind when Kyle bought next door property to make a parking lot, but I see no need to add a front porch to a business. It isn't a house." And this is signed by a Donna Gastola at 126 Alford Street.
Okay, thank you. Did you want to address any of that letter by any, or you don't have to? Come on up.
I can see where her concern would be an obvious concern. At the same time, what we're doing here is we're not adding traffic, or we're not truly, adding more business. We're just, and it's completely on the front of the store. It's not adding more vehicles or cars, with what those concerns sound to be.
Yes, and I believe we have to separate the fact that on what we're voting on tonight, which is just an increased entryway versus the legitimacy of the business being there. That's really not what we're voting on at this point. So
Okay, exactly.
I appreciate that clarification. Is there anybody else wishing to speak against Appeal 25-19? Nope, then I'll close the public hearing, and if there's no further discussion, I'll take a motion on 25-19.
I move that we approve Appeal 25-19.
Second.
We have a motion and 2 seconds. I think Adam beat you, Denise. So Donna, would you please call for the vote?
Adam Gersbauer,
Yes.
Joel Dindu,
Yes.
Denise Graves,
Yes.
Chris Doherty.
Yes, and Appeal 25-19 passes. Thank you. Moving right along, Appeal 25-20, an appeal submitted by Kimberly Stokes requesting a developmental variance for 903 South Logan Street, Mishawaka, Indiana, to allow for a reduced exterior side yard setback for a 6-foot-high privacy fence. Hi.
I'm Kimberly Stokes, and I am the owner and primary residence at 903 South Logan Street. And the current fence that's there is falling apart. It's a chain link fence that has been run over by cars coming off of the road, and my dogs didn't help other parts of the fence, and it's falling apart. It was put there in 1970 something by my parents, who bought the house in 73. And I've been there since 2004. But we'd like to put up a privacy fence just to make sure that the dogs stay in and people stay out. And just make it, it's a corner that's very busy. And it's just nice to have
Yeah, so
dogs that don't bark at everything that goes by.
so I can see the fence. So what I have is in black and white, so I can't see where your new fence is, but I see you don't need corner cuts, or you do have a corner
I
cut on the
do.
one side, but you don't need it
So-
on the other side, right?
Currently, it's a chain link fence that does go around the entire, like where the grass is, up to, like the driveway is like north-south from the garage that's behind the house. It's 2 full lots that I own. The house is 1 lot, and then the yard is the second lot. So we're going to bring back the fence to be in line with the house, which would allow plenty of visual on the front corner at Logan and Delaware. Because I don't remember exactly how far it comes back. I want to say it's like, it's quite a bit.
23 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
And then the only other issue was by the driveway. We're just going to kind of cut that back as well, just to keep visualization.
In that little 10-foot by 10-foot cut, you plan to put that in there, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
And then it'll just go up to the garage and kind of close in the patio that's there.
You have a question?
Yeah, I'm just looking at your drawing here, coming off of Delaware Street, turning onto Logan Street. I think you got the line of sight kind of covered there.
Where, here?
If you were coming off this way,
This isn't
she's
fence.
moving it there. Yeah,
so
okay.
she's good. There.
Just need to look closer.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
No.
Thank you. Is there anybody else in the room or online wishing to speak in favor of Appeal 25-20? Is there anybody in the room or online wishing to speak against Appeal 25-20? Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing, and I'll take a motion on 25-20.
I make a motion to approve 25-20.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Donna, would you please call for the vote?
Adam Gersbauer,
Yes.
Joel Dindu,
Yes.
Denise Graves,
Yes.
Chris Doherty.
Yes, and 25-20 passes. Thanks for the presentation. Next on the list, Appeal 25-21, an appeal submitted by Oliver Wade requesting a developmental variance for 901 Southwest Street, Mishawaka, Indiana, to allow for a 19-foot front yard setback for a new attached garage. Hi.
Hi, Oliver Wade, 901 Southwest.
Hi, tell us about what you want to do.
Well, we're 75 and 74. We're just getting to the point where we're having to worry about falls and just want to decrease that possibility. Plus the convenience of a garage, attached to the house.
Yep. Sounds like you worked with the staff, and the staff recommends approval, so that's a good thing. You haven't started this project yet, right?
No.
Perfect. Okay. Excellent. Thank you for the presentation.
Thanks.
Is there anybody in the room or online that wishes to speak in favor of Appeal 25-21? Is there anybody online or in the room wishing to speak against Appeal 25-21? Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing, and if there's no further comments, I'll take a motion on 25-21.
I move that we approve Appeal 25-21.
Second.
Adam, cut in on you, Denise. We have a motion and a second. Donna, would you please call for the vote?
Adam Gersbauer,
Yes.
Joel Dendu,
Yes.
Denise Graves,
Yes.
Chris Doherty.
Yes, and Appeal 25-21 passes. Thank you for the presentation. Next, we have Appeal 25-22, an appeal submitted by Jared Ferris and Danielle Adams requesting a developmental variance for 631 East 4th Street, Mishawaka, Indiana, to allow for a 7-foot front yard setback and a 3-foot side setback for a handicap ramp. Hi.
Hi, Danelle Adams, 631 East 4th Street. We ended up having to buy this home for an emergency. I lost 3 family members in 1 year. I lost my stepdad, therefore I had to bring my mother all the way from Jackson, Michigan here. So we bought this home because it was easier for her. She's disabled. She's had cancers and everything. We've had an incident where I was at work and Jared came home and found her on the ground. She can hardly walk. The ambulance couldn't get her hardly out of the house due to our home. So it's getting real severe where she has to have a ramp to get her in and out. I can hardly get her down the stairs anymore. She can't hardly lift her legs anymore. She was 364 pounds, and I got her down to 354 to try to help with some mobility, but it's close to getting her time. So we're just trying to do what we can to make it better for her.
Oh, thank you for doing that. You're doing God's work there. That's good stuff. Is there any other questions?
No.
Nope.
No.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else in the room or online wishing to speak in favor of Appeal 25-22? Hearing none, is there anybody wishing to speak against Appeal 25-22? Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing, and I will ask for a motion.
I make motion to approve 25-22.
23.
3.
No, it's 22.
22.
Oh, it is?
It's 22.
25-22.
You said 22 originally.
Chris is usually right.
I'm wrong.
I second.
Please note for the record, Donna, I'm wrong. Okay, let's start that again. We have a motion and a second, right? So who was our motion? Adam?
I
I
would
have
motion.
Adam first.
Yeah.
And we have a second?
I don't have a second yet.
Oh, I second.
We have a motion and a second. Let's call for the vote.
Adam Gersbauer,
Yes.
Joel Dendu,
Yes.
Denise Graves,
Yes.
Chris Doherty.
Yes, and 25-22 passes. We wish you all the best of luck with all the things you're dealing with. And you brought her to a good hometown. Mishawaka's a good place. Oh, good, good. All right, moving on, 25-23. An appeal submitted by Mark Campbell and Carolyn Adams requesting a developmental variance for 215 and 217 South Elder Street, Mishawaka, Indiana, to allow for a reduction in the landscaping, fencing, and residential separation for a proposed mini storage unit facility. Hi.
Hi, Terry Lang from the Whiteman office. Our address is 1402 Mishawaka Avenue in South Bend. I represent the petitioners here. This was a project that started about 5 years ago, and then COVID hit and the whole world came to an end, and this project now is resurrecting itself now. We've been working with the staff on what's necessary to get the site plan in compliance. We've talked with the adjacent property owner that is immediately to the south and the one that is the residentially zoned property there, and they are in support of the petition for landscaping and fencing to be eliminated along that south and westerly side of the property right there. And the petitioners have been in the past negotiating for the purchase of their property also for maybe a future phase 2 for this project. So I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have with regards to that. And we're in agreement with all of the staff requirements that they had asked for.
Perfect. Is there any questions for Mr. Lang?
No.
Mishawaka people sure must have a lot of stuff because there's a lot of storage things.
I do.
But thank you for the presentation. Is there anybody else in the room or online wishing to speak in favor of Appeal 25-23? Is there anybody in the room or online wishing to speak against Appeal 25-23? Hi. Hi, come on up.
Hello, my name is Denise Heron. I live at 3930 East 3rd Street.
Okay.
So
Let us know what kind of questions you have and
I guess my
Concerns.
concern is the amount of traffic that this storage unit will bring, and then also with it causing my property taxes to go up, and then also the crime rate with the storage unit being in the area. Those were my concerns.
okay, we'll have them come back up and address those
Okay,
and make sure that we hit on each of those, okay?
okay.
Thanks for coming up. I really
welcome.
appreciate it. Is there anybody else that wishes to speak against Appeal 25-23?
Yes, I do.
Oh, hi. Could we
Hi.
have your name and address, please?
My name is Pamela McGruder, and I live at 4019 East Norton Court. I live directly behind that.
Okay.
And that's my question also, is what are their guarantees that nobody's going to be living in these storage units?
Okay. We'll address that as well, along with the traffic and the property taxes.
Correct.
Okay. Sounds good. Are there any other questions you have?
Not at this time.
Okay, well, thank you. Is there anybody else wishing to speak against Appeal 25-23? Hearing none, Mr. Lang will have you come up and address these 3 questions that we have here, if you can touch on them.
Yeah. These storage units are going to be basically cold storage. The only thing that's going to be in there would be a light for people that would be, bringing things and taking things out of their storage unit. There'll be no water hookup. There'll be no facilities whatsoever. So anybody living in them, they would be basically really roughing it at this point. And if somebody is, I am sure that code enforcement could follow up with regards to somebody like that happening.
Usually that would be against the policy that they would sign.
Correct.
As well.
The house located at the front of the property is going to be turned into an office. So there'll be somebody there to be able to watch for that type of misuse of the property, so that we're falling within the guidelines of that zoning district. Increase of traffic. I live about 3 miles from this location, and I go down Elder Street all the time coming from the south side of town. up through there. I don't anticipate a large increase in traffic. Storage facilities, I used to rent one on the far southwest side of South Bend for parking my stuff in. And it was one of those things that I was lucky if I went there once or twice a month on a regular basis to pick up stuff or drop stuff off. So I don't drastically see an increase in the traffic there. And with regards to the taxes, the property is currently zoned industrial already, so there shouldn't be any change once these units go up with regards to the residential property on the other side of the railroad tracks there where the people were talking. And if you have any other questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Well, thank you for answering those questions that the citizens have. I really appreciate it. I know that tonight we're doing a developmental variance, basically just in the reduction of landscaping, fencing, and those types of things. But I really appreciate you answering the broader questions that came up.
Okay.
Thank you. So what we're voting on tonight is simply just the landscaping, fencing, and residential separation. So they touched on the traffic, the property, the taxes, and of course, they're not allowed to have people living there as well. So I appreciate all of the questions from the citizens, and I appreciate Mr. Lang coming up and addressing some of those. With that, I'll go ahead and close the public hearing. And is there any other questions or discussions we'd like to have on this?
No.
Okay, then I'll take a motion on this appeal for the landscaping, fencing, and residential separation.
I'll make a motion to approve 25-23.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Donna, would you please call for the vote?
Adam Gersbauer,
Yes.
Joel Dendu,
Yes.
Denise Graves,
Yes.
Chris Torty.
Yes, and Appeal 25-23 passes. Moving along, we have appeal submitted by Patricia Greenay requesting a developmental variance for 634 East 18th Street, Mishawaka, Indiana, to allow an oversized accessory structure in the rear of the yard. Is there somebody here to present that? 25-24. Hi, name and
How you doing?
address.
My name is John Nemec, and I am doing the work over on the residence, and we're gonna put a large storage unit in the back. It's, what else do you guys want? I'm sorry.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, give us a half hour over. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We wouldn't do that to you. So tell me about this structure. What's the use, and what are you going to keep in it, and what's it for? And
It's going to be for RV, some cars. It's also going to be used for private business for storage for items for the business. It's going to be heated, and it's going to be pretty nice unit when it's all done.
And
It's the private business.
yeah, what is?
It's just construction. I do remodeling houses and such.
Are you going to be conducting business out of there?
No, just to put my stuff in, the power washers, stuff like that.
Okay, but you're not going to have customers?
Oh,
or
not
anything
at all,
like that?
no.
Okay, because that's confusing when it's an R1.
No, it's not. It's just to put the
Yep.
things in.
Okay, got it. And it sounds like you've been working with the staff. The staff recommends approval. And have you started this project yet?
No.
No? Okay. Is there any other questions?
I see you're storing a lot of stuff back there. How are you getting back to the storage building? Doesn't look like a lot of room on the map.
There's a Where's the map at? On the one side, there's enough room to, which side is it? On the right side, I'm not sure where that property is. There is enough room to go back through there for what I need to put back there. It's not like it's, I need a big road or anything.
Are you going to be storing in like an RV or something back there? Or?
Well, it's a smaller RV. A trailer, pretty much.
Just looking at that photo that's displayed up there, it looks skinnier than your driveway to get by the property line in your house.
So that way I could go around towards the other way, but it's not something I'm going to be pulling in and out of a lot. It's something I'm really using for storage.
Ground in the backyard, outside the accessory. And is there any concrete or anything, or like a paved?
Right now?
Will there be?
Yeah, I was going to put in some sort of a drive.
A drive? Okay, because there is a note here that no vehicles may be parked or driven over any of the soft ground backyard outside the accessory building.
Okay.
Do you agree with that?
I agree.
Okay. Department commented, the driveway shall be installed for vehicle travel and shall be a hard surface, asphalt or concrete?
Right.
Okay, so not pebbles and
No.
and stone. That would still be considered soft, I believe. The electric department commented that the outbuilding need electric. So it won't have its own electric service as well. Okay, so you agree to all of that stuff that you worked on with the staff?
Yes.
Okay,
You said it was going to be heated,
Right.
so you're going to have electric service out there for,
For lights.
yeah, not separate light service. It's not going to have a separate hookup, it's going to come from
oh,
the
it's going to be
house.
off the house, okay.
What material is going to be on the outside? Is it going to be like siding, like vinyl?
I've been looking at quite a few avenues how I wanted to do it, and I wanted to kind of dress the outside front of the facade, nice facade, but the sides and the back will probably be just a normal aluminum type of a structure.
Okay. Any other questions?
How tall is it going to be? I'm sorry, Joel.
No,
You go ahead.
No, go ahead, sorry.
I was just wondering, how tall is this?
Believe it's on the 20 feet as was the max.
I was just wondering, you're listed as the contingent purchaser, so you don't actually own the real estate yet, is that correct?
No, I don't.
Are you set to close on that pretty soon, or when are you set to?
Yes. Mhm.
That's all I have.
Okay. Any other questions? Nope. Thank you for the presentation.
Thanks so much.
Is there anybody else in the room wishing to speak in favor of Appeal 25-24? Is there anybody that wishes to speak in opposition to Appeal 25-24? Hi. Sure.
My name is Susan Geerligs. I live at 715 East 18th Street.
Is that one of the next two?
I live across the street and
Okay.
a couple doors to the east.
Okay. I got it.
And they've been, I don't know, flipping the house or whatever. But I have a question. How big of a building is it? I don't think that was mentioned. You said 20-foot height. It says oversized in here.
Yeah, it says in there, it's 50 feet by 40 feet.
Okay, and 20 feet high.
And that's how it would look. That's
what-
the size it would take in that property. So if you zoom out a little bit, you see his whole property line?
Yeah,
So that's the size compared.
okay. And my other question is, does he have enough clearance? It looks like when I went by the other day, I was looking, it's like, what is standard clearance for the drive back around the house? Because,
Yeah, that's a good question. And of course, when our staff looks at things, that's all the stuff they
Okay.
require, right? So,
okay. I just want to,
yeah, and
Because,
actually, I
mean-
can go ahead and call upon our city
I
planner
mean, if
or.
you're trying to put a
or,
motorhome back there.
we can talk
or
a
an
little bit.
RV.
Yeah, a standard driveway, like a parking space, is usually 9 or 10, and I think there is a 9 or 10-foot clearance between that, because that driveway, I think that driveway is probably a double-wide driveway, so that driveway is probably 18 foot, where that driveway is now, I would think. So he could probably just get around there. And as was mentioned in the staff report too, it can't be, he can't go back there and create ruts in the yard, so it has to be concrete, it has to be asphalt or paved, no gravel. So that's a requirement of any driveway in the city of Mishawaka. Any residential driveway can't be stone, because we don't want it, the stone drug out onto the right-of-way, onto the street. So,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, I think he has just enough clearance to get around it.
Okay, that was just mainly my concern, is the clearance. But like I said, I'm across the street. I'm not next door to them at all.
Okay, thank you for coming up. I really appreciate it. Can you give us some information? I don't recall having structures this big.
We've done.
This seems huge.
It is large. We've done a few. There was one that was maybe 6 to 7 properties directly to the west, and that was approved 4 or 5 years ago. I don't think it was quite as large as this, but it was close. I think it got up to maybe 1,400 or 1,500 square feet. So this is on the larger side when it comes to oversized, accessory structures that we have approved. But
So the driveway's going to kind of look like that house next to it on the left, right, where they have
correct, yeah.
a garage back there.
Correct, yeah, exactly.
And is this something, I mean, we're setting a precedence here. I mean, we're comfortable with all these lots doing these things?
I mean, it's a large lot. I mean, we wouldn't support this if it was like, if this was a much smaller lot and didn't have the depth. We wouldn't support this, in the older part of a city where the residential density was much higher on this. So,
Yep.
and I think even though they can have, from setbacks from property lines are only required to be 3 feet, but where it's shown on here is basically where they do want to put it. So I think they're going to maintain, like 40 feet from that rear property line even. So, it's kind of central to the property there.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. These lots are humongous.
Yeah,
It's
they're-
hard to even grasp.
These are really deep lots. I mean, there's very few other parts in the city, in the older parts of the city where the lots are this deep.
Yep. Yep, and there's nothing, you can't break them into 2 lots. You can't get to them or anything. And yep. Okay, I just wanted to ask those questions. Is there anybody else wishing to speak against this appeal? 25-24. Okay, hearing none, we'll close the public hearing. And if there's no further discussion, or if there is further discussion, we can discuss it, but we could take a motion.
Chris,
Yes,
I do have a question.
okay.
So I've been looking at this. My question is this going to be a little nicer than having like a pole barn back there?
If I can get you to come back up to the microphone, sorry. Make you get your exercise
I'm
tonight.
sorry. Because it really doesn't say, it's just an oversized structure, and I'm just wondering, what is the aesthetics of that?
Okay, so it's going to be, like I said, put a facade on the front. I want to kind of dress it up. Again, I'm going to be living there, so I want to kind of make it look nice. I'm kind of maybe go with an old, like, filling station type theme, if you know what I mean. Something really nice in the front, make it look presentable.
No, I don't know what you mean. I'm sorry.
Okay.
What
So I-
kind of, what are you talking about facade-wise?
Like maybe a half stone wall, maybe, or brick facade
Okay.
wall up with a, you know, a nice bay door, or, you know,
Okay,
just dress it up, you know, not so it doesn't look like a barn. You know, I'll be the one looking at it every day, so I mean, I want to, and using it, so
Right.
kind of want to make it look like it's, you know, part of the house.
all right, thank you.
Thanks, Denise.
Thank you.
So let's just talk real quick about the structure that you're going to have. So is it, you know, they're going to come in and is it going to be framed out with
It'll
wood?
be-
Is it steel? Is it?
It'll be framed out. It'll be like, I think we talked, the front will, like I mentioned, by half stone, and then just kind of dress it up, you know,
But it'll be
I said
framed,
the sides in the
so
back
it's-
are going to be, you know, basically a pole barn type style, but it'll be metal. But like I said, the front and everything, I plan on making it look a little more, I don't know what you want to say, just presentable and nice.
Okay. Yeah, it puts us in a difficult spot because what we're voting on is simply to allow this structure on your lot and not really the specifics about what you're building. But I really appreciate you going into the detail.
Do you need, you want any, I mean, I could probably pull some pictures up and kind of comparables, you know, I'm getting ideas all the time, you know, when I'm driving and looking at other structures.
Well, my biggest concern would be what our staff and everybody that works for our staff would think about something like this. And if it's feasible driveway-wise, and if it's feasible given the size of your lot, and if it's something that sets a precedent, and hearing from them that they do recommend approval of this, and you're working with them on how this is all going to be, that makes me feel better about this.
Okay,
So I think we're good.
okay,
I think we're good.
thank you.
Okay, so with that, I'm going to close the public hearing, and we'll go ahead and take a motion.
I move that we approve Appeal 25-24.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Donna, would you please call for the vote?
Adam Gersbauer,
No.
Joel Dindu,
Yes.
Denise Graves,
Yes.
Chris Torty,
Yes, and Appeal 25-24 passes. Thank you. Moving right along, we got Appeal 25-25. This appeal will just be a recommendation going to the council, and it is an appeal submitted by Heartwood Holdings LLC requesting a use variance for outside storage and developmental variance for 811 and 815 East McKinley Avenue, Mishawaka, Indiana, to allow a reduced rear yard setback, fencing, landscaping, and gravel storage area. And I'm not sure how these got combined into one, but we'll make this work.
Terry Lang from the Whiteman office, representing the petitioner here. The petition before you is a current industrial site. The variances that we're asking for right here from the developmental standards. If you look on the site, there's an existing building there. The rear yard requirement is for the rear yard, we have 2 foot of the existing building there right now. So what we're asking for is that variance for the existing building to be within 2 foot of the property line. And then we're going to step back for the future building 10 feet away from that southerly property line so that we're not right up on top of that property line like the older building portion of it that's there. The second variance that we're asking for is the fencing that's along the south property line. The south property line abuts the residential apartments to the south, and the variance we're asking for, that should be a 7-foot fence, is required right there. And in the pictures that I've passed out to you, you can see the very first picture in that set is the existing 7-foot fence that's already there. So it's kind of futile to have two 7-foot fences side by side. The second picture, you can see the 7-foot fence kind of looking back toward the building standing in Went Street right there. So it's a rather tall fence, and like I say, putting two fences side by side kind of seems a waste of money where it can be better spent on the site for doing other improvements. Third variance that we are seeking right here is that we have an area that we are going, the owners of the property have a tree service, and what they do is they come out to your house, will cut down trees that are damaged by wind or things like that, or trimmed back, and then what they'll do is they'll bring the material back to their site location right there where it can be chopped into smaller pieces or chipped into mulch or something like that as necessary. Those trees are rather large in diameter and can be, damaging for a yard area that would normally be concrete or asphalt. It would probably break the concrete or break the asphalt. So what we're proposing for is outside storage when they bring that material back to be a gravel area specifically located on our site plan right there, kind of centrally located right there. The bottom half of this site is what we are looking to develop first. Okay, that will be the part that ultimately, when we do our final site and grading plan and stuff like that, will be the southerly half of the property where the existing building, where that stone area would be, where they can bring the materials in, and they're going to be bringing their vehicles to store them here also. So what we're proposing to do is to fence the southerly portion of that around the portion that's going to be part of our site plan. They have several bucket trucks, skid loaders, things that pick up logs and things like that. Somewhere in an area of about $600,000 to $700,000 worth of equipment. The equipment has chainsaws and things like that. So what they want to do is keep it secure on that site also, and try to prevent it from being an attractive nuisance for kids that may be going through the neighborhood or things like that. If you look at the additional pictures that I have given to you, the, Chad, if you could go to the next one. That shows the setback, pardon me, go back to that one. The existing fence that's out there is located 1 foot off of the sidewalk along Went Street right there. We are proposing our fence to be located 3 feet back from that. I know that the city didn't like the fact that we were within 3 feet of it, but you can see what the existing fence is right next door for that. And what we're trying to do also is, on our site plan, the doors that access that existing building are on the easterly side of that building, and they're going to have to improve that area. So we have to be able to sheet drain the stormwater out of there. So I want to keep as much room for those trucks to be able to get in and out of that existing building area. So that was the reasoning for having the fence as close as 3 feet for our site plan portion of it right there. If you go to the next picture, please. This was taken across the street. You can see the industrial sites, the car operation at the corner of McKinley. All of the cars are parked way out across the right-of-way lines. And all of our stuff will be contained within our site. You can see the next picture down also is looking in a southerly direction. There's screening, there's no fencing or anything like that. So everything that we're doing is to protect the equipment that we're going to be storing on the site right there. If you go to the next picture, please. Okay, this is looking to the property immediately to the north of our site. I believe it's the Pemberton Davis site. You can see that the fence that they have is not an opaque type fence. You can see all the equipment stored in the back. The request that ours was to have an opaque fence in there. We're looking, this will be a multi-phase project. So we'd like to just have that be just a regular chain link type fence. And then similar to what is, and that's a brand new site across the street. The next picture also shows on the other side of that building, you can see the equipment stored in the back there also. So we're looking to do exactly what's been allowed in somewhat recently with the Pemberton Davis improvements right there. So our fencing of the site, we're asking to do what's already being done in the neighborhood right there. The developers here want to be, a good neighbor, protect their equipment, protect the neighborhood kids if they're running loose in the neighborhood. And we're going to design to the city design standards for stormwater and things like that. There were several things that the city engineering office had asked for, and we'll work with them on those items also for replacing broken sidewalk things and things like that. But it will be done in phases as they move forward. They're outgrowing their current location, and they like this location, and they've done quite a bit of work in the city of Mishawaka over the last couple of years, and they've kind of landed on this spot and think it could be something that they'd like to grow into. The portion that you see on the north part of the site plan, I asked them, what is your long-range plan if this continues to do well the way it has over the last few years? He thought that the part up at the north end of this could be kind of like a landscaping business or something that would be retail sale for trees or shrubbery and things like that, similar to the McKinley landscape area out there by the Hummer plant. And that's kind of what his long-range plan was. It won't be done right away, and it won't be on the final site and drainage plans when we submit those. But that's kind of the overall goal of what they see for the site and what we're trying to help them with. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have.
The outside storage, can you talk a little bit more about that? I'm not a big fan of outside storage. I've seen what it looks like over years, and it expands and it grows and it overlaps, but you're just going to have a gravel space. But are we pretty sure that that's going to be contained, organized in that space?
And that was the gist of the conversation with the planning staff, to have a designated size and area where that would be. Vehicles will have to drive, obviously, on the paved portions of it that we have shown for pavement right there. It's easy access for the vehicles to come in, dump the trees or branches that they're going to be processing right there in that location, and then they could expedite it being hauled away from that location. If it wasn't for the fact that some of those, I had a tree at the early spring here, 30-inch oak tree that come down and just did a terrible job on my lawn and my driveway. And I know what it can do, and that's kind of what they were expressing to me. They don't want to put in brand new concrete or asphalt and then have it tore up by trees being dropped and being processed at that location. So we've tied it down. It'll be contained within the fenced area that you see right there also.
Yep.
So it's been very limited, and that's kind of what the staff wanted to see also.
Okay. Any other questions for Mr. Lang?
So for the screening fence, that's along the north edge of that outdoor landscape area or that gravel area, it doesn't necessarily have to be a wood fence. If you want to do a chain link fence with slats, what we're concerned with is the fact that the front of that, as stated, is not going to be developed immediately, right? So we want to see some type of visual buffer between the road there. Some of the other stuff across the street, it's behind the building and behind the existing buildings and sits really far back. So we're okay with chain link, but we still want to see some slats just along where that outdoor storage area. Now, and we're not requiring that along the road, along the north-south road, so not necessarily along West Avenue or whatever that road is. It's just
Wet-
along.
Wet Street, yeah.
Yeah, correct. It's just along that north. So you can do chain link, but we want to see some slats in there just
Okay,
to.
it only has to be on that
Correct.
east-west fence area there.
Correct, yes.
Because on the south side, we have the existing 7-foot
Correct.
fence, and on the westerly side, we have a 1,000-foot-long
Correct.
storage building there.
Yeah, but the front of that right now, as you can see on the aerial that was originally up there, I mean, it's all
Yeah.
just open. It's just all open grassland. So,
And I think
yeah.
we can work with you on just that portion of
Okay.
it being screened.
Okay.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Any other questions or clarifications? None? Thank you for your presentation. Is there anybody else in the room or online wishing to speak in favor of Appeal 25-25? Is there anybody wishing to speak against Appeal 25-25? Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing, and I'll ask for a motion, but this motion will be for two things. It'll be for a use variance recommendation to the council, and it will also be a developmental variance pass-fail. So if we have a motion to approve this, I'll make sure that the use variance is approved as a recommendation, and the developmental variance is a pass or fail.
So moved.
Okay, so do I have a motion on 25-25?
Yes.
We have a motion
Second.
and a second. Donna, would you please call for the vote?
Adam Gersbauer,
Yes.
Joel Dindu,
Yes.
Denise Graves,
Yes.
Chris Torty,
Yes, so the use variance will move to the council with a favorable rating. The developmental variance passes. Thank you for your presentation. The last one on the list, Appeal 25-26, an appeal submitted by Mishawaka Property LLC and Michiana Neuroscience requesting a sign variance for 1625 East Jefferson, Mishawaka, Indiana, to allow for a second freestanding sign on the southwest corner of East Jefferson Boulevard and North Burkett Avenue.
I'm here online. I don't know if you can hear me.
We can hear you loud and clear. And name and address?
Great. Well, the current practice headquarters is 210 South Ray Street here in Mishawaka, but the new building we just purchased is 1625 Jefferson.
And your name, please?
Dr. Michael Mitchell.
Thank you. Tell us about this appeal.
Yeah, so we had purchased the building. We're really growing with quality neuropsychological and neuropsychiatric care, and we obviously need more room. So we purchased the building. The situation we got into was regarding the sign. As far as, in fact, we had put so much earnest money down to buy the building. And this sign situation has just been a total nightmare. Cost me $6,000 legal costs just to navigate this nebulous situation. But essentially, we want to be separate from the medical behavioral hospital, as we are independent in that sense. I have a lot of patients who are geriatric, and when they come to me, we deal with mostly neurology cases, so complex traumatic brain injury, dementia, a lot of dementia. And so patients often drive by multiple times to make sure that they're safe, or that they know how to get there and that they're comfortable. And the other building that we purchased at 1625 is very kind of, hidden. It's very kind of secluded. You have to go down. People don't even really see it. So we wanted to have a sign, so that people could actually see it and recognize that, to minimize my patient discomfort. And so that was something we asked, we requested. Initially, it was the Emily Ryan, the CEO initially kind of signed the paperwork.